Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, the 4 former Industrial ISD students face court today. Our reporter has the details.
The impeachment trial against Attorney General Ken Paxton continues with his affair at the center of the investigation.
And the latest in a fire near Refugio County.
And get ready for some much needed rainfall. In fact, it's already raining down south toward the Port Lavaca area. Some shower activity in the Victoria County as well. It's raining down in Goliad, and this is only the beginning. We'll have all the details coming up.
And the Calhoun Sand Crabs and Yoakum Bulldogs are the focus for week 4. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
A high-speed chase Wednesday ended with an arrest in Hallettsville. 34-year-old Lamar Darian Martin of Hallettsville in custody after a chase that started in Fayette County. After running over 2 spike strips going into Hallettsville, the suspect fled on foot before Hallettsville police took him into custody. Authorities about 11 kilos of methamphetamine located in Schulenburg that had been dumped by the driver. Also taken from the suspect, over $3,000 in U.S. currency. Martin charged with possession of a controlled substance and evading arrest. 4 former Industrial ISD baseball players indicted in an assault case were in court today. 25
News Now reporter Adarius McCormick is following the case and has more.
The former baseball players were charged with organized criminal assault back in July. Today they appeared in court for a hearing. Braxton Cole Warren, Zachary James Kuckler, Christopher Taylor McCrory, and Cullen Reed Stumful were in Jackson County Courthouse this morning. The hearing will determine the future of the case. We're waiting to hear from the Jackson County Clerk's office about where the case goes from here. We could have an update as soon as tomorrow morning, so we'll continue to share new information as soon as it's possible. Back to you guys.
Adarius, thank you. A federal appeals court set a date of October 5th to hear arguments in the Texas border buoys case. Last week, the appellate court ordered a temporary freeze in the case after Texas requested a stay. The freeze came just 24 hours after a U.S. District Judge ruled the White House could order Texas to remove the buoys covered in razor wire. In July, the Justice Department sued Texas over the floating barrier. Governor Greg Abbott claims it was within the state's constitutional authority to put in the barrier.
Lower taxes are coming to Wharton County residents. The Wharton Journal-Spectator reports the Wharton County Commissioners Court voted unanimously this week to adopt a balanced 2024 county budget and 2023 tax rate, cutting taxes and offering raises to county employees in the process.
The brush fire in Aransas Pass that has prompted evacuations is at 75 acres and 50% containment. KIII reports the Texas A&M Forest Service website shows the fire grew to 300 acres. Refugio County Sheriff's deputies and volunteer firefighters dealing with a large brush fire on Kelly Road just west of the Refugio County Airport. The fire is named as the Kelly Fire. The Texas A&M Forest Service is responding with dozers and a strike team to assist.
And now let's head to the weather with Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis, who tells us we have a little bit of rain coming this weekend, possibly by Friday.
Yes, in fact, I could call it a lot of bit of rain because we're really in good shape for the most significant rainfall we've had since, I don't know, last April. As you can see right about here, here's Bloomington right there. And we've had shower activity down in the Port Lavaca area during the afternoon. We've had shower activity down toward Refugio as well. And this is only the beginning, folks. The heavier stuff is actually coming at us from West Texas. It'll be here on Friday, and I think it's going to be a rather soggy day, maybe even the weekend. We'll have all that coming up in just a moment.
Thank you, Mac. The latest in the Ken Paxton impeachment trial continues as the House managers have made a motion to change the trial rules.
Now, under the new rules, if senators convict Paxton on a single article of impeachment, he would not only be permanently removed from his post, but prevented from running for state-level offices.
If the impeachment articles of Ken Paxton surround one person, being Nate Paul, Brandon Kamak is something of a close second.
Who hired you, and whom did you think you were working for?
The Office of the Attorney General.
Brandon Kamak was allegedly hired by Paxton to investigate claims of federal misconduct put forward by Nate Paul, an Austin real estate developer. After a search warrant was executed at Paul's properties, he claimed some sort of conspiracy was afoot. and brought those claims to Paxton, who allegedly wanted to investigate further even if his staff didn't.
His own staff would not work on what he wanted them to work on. And he mentioned that, he just wanted to find out the truth.
KMAC then alleges Paxton gave him the title of special prosecutor and began investigating. What could spell the most trouble for Paxton, an allegation that Paxton reportedly wanted his staff to stand down on its investigation into Nate Paul so that KMAC could continue. It's been questioned before why the Office of the Attorney General didn't do more to investigate Paul's claims. Mark Penley testified yesterday that he tried to, but was allegedly stonewalled by Paul and his lawyer. Today, KMAC said Paxton wanted it that way.
He said, well, I told him to stand down. He's not working on this case. You are.
And who should stand down?
Mr. Penley.
Paxton's defense attorneys questioning him late in the afternoon, asking why no one from the Office of the Attorney General stopped him.
You were not there trying to benefit Nate Paul or his business entities. That's not why you agreed to get involved in this. Agreed?
Absolutely not. I didn't even know Nate Paul or his entities or anything like that.
An elephant in the room, will Nate Paul be called to testify? And would he offer any foundational testimony?
Adding to the impeachment trial, Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick told prosecutors to wait on questioning the alleged mistress of Paxton today. Laura Olson, the woman in question, plays into the case because prosecutors say Paxton had his friend and donor Nate Paul hire the woman out of San Antonio. Paxton's former staffers say this affair is why Paxton was covering for Nate Paul.
Prosecutors tried to call Olson to the stand today, but Patrick denied it because she was only added to the witness list at 3:53 p.m. Tuesday. Witnesses in this trial not allowed to testify until 24 hours after they've been added to that list. Corpus Christi and Killeen ISDs this week voted to join a lawsuit against the Texas Education Agency. KCEN reports the lawsuit is over the TEA's new accountability rating process. The school districts say changes this year to the system lacked transparency. The accountability ratings were originally scheduled to be released September 28th, but were delayed until late October so the TEA could re-examine the data used to calculate the ratings. An explosion and fire at a rural oil and gas facility in North Texas this morning. Fire crews responded to the fire around 7 a.m. Firefighters with the Decatur and Wise County Fire Departments worked to put out the flames, which looked to be contained in one of the storage tanks on the property. One person taken to the hospital with unknown injuries. Officials have yet to say what sparked the blast that started the fire.
Moderna says its experimental flu vaccine has a stronger immune response than what's on the market. Moderna says that in a phase 3 study, it shows increased immunity against 4 strains of the flu virus. The company is now hoping for approval by federal regulators. Both Moderna and Pfizer plan to combine COVID-19 shots with vaccines for flu and RSV. Victoria Symphony hosted its yearly luncheon to celebrate the golden anniversary of the symphony at the Spring Creek Event Center. The luncheon was partnered with a style show. This is the 14th show the symphony has hosted. Event organizers enjoyed the huge turnout for the event.
They're absolutely spectacular. We really love doing it. We have great participation, and we're just so thankful to have all these people here.
The event included a fashion show, silent auction, bake sale, and music. Victoria Symphony's 50th concert series starts September 16th. That's Saturday. And here are some of the top headlines you can read on the Port Lavaca Wave. A neighborhood comes together to replace a 5-year-old's bike after it went stolen. And the Calhoun County ISD updated their code of conduct to reflect the changes on how students caught with THC are punished. Plus, Our Lady of the Gulf Catholic Church hosting its annual Parish Fall Festival this Sunday. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. You can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us coming up on 25 News now at 6. In Tennessee, a teenager loses his hands and feet after a rare illness.
Also ahead, Utah Republican Mitt Romney says he won't seek re-election. not be running for re-election. The 2012 Republican presidential nominee made the announcement in a video posted to social media Wednesday. Romney has been an outspoken critic of both former President Donald Trump and President Biden. In his farewell video, he encouraged future generations to get into politics.
I've spent my last 25 years in public service of one kind or another. At the end of another term, I'd be in my mid-80s. Frankly, it's time for a new generation of leaders. They're the ones that need to make the decisions that will shape the world they will be living in.
The 76-year-old has served in the Senate since 2019, and his 6-year term expires in January of 2025. A Nashville teen is learning to live without his hands and feet after a rare illness.
His parents say they are just thankful he's alive.
Let's go, Matias, let's go! Matias Uribe should be using his feet to run. His hands should be playing endless melodies on the piano. That's the potential his parents, Edgar and Catalina Uribe, still see in their son.
Right now, for me, it's really hard to watch all the videos. But at the same time, when I feel like that, I look at him and I say, he's here.
The last 2 months, Matias has been here at the Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. He came here after he was diagnosed with pneumonia, streptococcal toxic shock syndrome, and went into cardiac arrest. He was put on an ECMO machine, which pumps blood throughout the body for almost 2 weeks, saving his life, but not his limbs.
That flow wasn't getting to all his extremities, and they had to amputate all of his 4 extremities.
I say to the doctors, please don't use the word amputation. Let's use remove.
I don't think there's anything they could have done sooner. I think he got really sick really fast.
Dr. Katie Boyle is the head of Matias's care team, who was trying to save every inch of his limbs. What Matias is dealing with is something she hardly ever sees.
It's extremely rare. So sometimes when you get the flu, it does set you up for a bacterial infection. But even then, most kids don't get nearly as sick as Matias did.
After almost a dozen surgeries, his parents say Matias has only 2 more. When he leaves the hospital, he will jump right back to what he was doing before, even if it's with prosthetics.
And I tell him we're going to be your arms and legs until we figure all this out.
In Nashville, Marissa Sulek, WSMV4.
Nurse Sandra Lindsay, the first person to ever receive the COVID-19 vaccine in the U.S., received the new Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine today. Nurse Lindsay, the current VP of Public Health Advocacy at a hospital in New York, has made history again, now as the first person to get the updated version of the Pfizer vaccine. The shot marks her 3rd COVID-19 vaccine and the 6th shot total, including boosters. Lindsay spoke briefly about her experience with COVID-19 shots and her push to make others aware of the importance of getting a vaccine.
This feels like 2020 all over again. I'm grateful to be in this position, to be the first to be getting this new updated COVID vaccine, but more importantly, to be in a position to raise awareness about the importance of getting vaccinated.
Lindsay has never had the COVID-19 virus despite serving on the front lines during the pandemic. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. Cuero Chamber of Commerce collaborates with Miss Golden Crescent, and the Gobblers of 1973 celebrate their 50th anniversary state win. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com.
Severe weather in the Phoenix area Tuesday night and Wednesday morning caused major damage and knocked out power for thousands of people. High winds overturned at least 6 planes at an airport. Other areas had downed trees and power lines and damage to homes. The severe weather also included golf ball-sized hail and triggered flash flooding in central Phoenix. 2 schools had to cancel classes.
And here in the Crossroads, things are looking up as we are waiting for much needed rainfall around here. Obviously, we don't want to be like Phoenix, but we want to get ready for significant rain. Right now it's 92, and believe it or not, it got up to 100 degrees this afternoon. Yep, another one for the record book. But where's the rain? Well, it's around us right now, but it's going to get heavier on Friday. And we'll have all that coming up in just a moment. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Look, you haven't seen this in a while. Actual showers in the actual area. Here's Bloomington. Here's Port Lavaca. They've had rain down in Calhoun County for the afternoon, and more activities south of Bloomington all the way down into the Refugio area. So all of a sudden, our fates have changed, folks. This is just the beginning. These thunderstorms popped up this afternoon, of course, with a little bit of heat that we got. But the main event is really back in far west Texas, right about here. There's an area of low pressure in the upper atmosphere beginning to circulate, and it is causing the lifting of some of these thunderstorms. You can see how they're growing tall in the afternoon, and that means that they're going to be bringing some heavy rains into our region. When does that get here? Probably not till about Friday. So we had showers around the area today. We'll have more again tomorrow, Thursday. But Friday we could get, significant rainfall around here. The old frontal system that's been bringing fall weather to North Texas, they're so lucky. That is going to be the focusing mechanism for these thunder showers. And of course, that area of low pressure spinning around over here. That is what's going to give Texas, pretty much the entire state, the best weather we've had in 4 months. I mean, finally, a break in the pattern. The dome is long gone. Don't have to worry about that. We're now looking for temperatures to moderate a little bit, and then how much rain is the big question. There you can see clearly where the frontal system is located, right about there. So you can see the 70s to the north. I mean, look, Dallas got up to 83 this afternoon. Their high temperature. Usually that's their low temperature. For us, we're still kind of in that summer swoon with a high of 100. These are your forecast highs for tomorrow, 95 for us. And while, it'll be 92 up in Austin, you can see how the cooler weather or somewhat milder weather continues up north. I mean, look at 73 in Amarillo, 78 the high in Lubbock. Can you imagine? Good stuff, right? All right, and the rain is good stuff too. Now, it may affect your weekend. Well, I'll put it this way. It will affect your weekend because through the next 4 or 5 days, all the way to Monday, Future Tracker is telling us that Victoria County and the Crossroads is going to get over 1 inch of rain. And some spots will get 2 inches of rain, if not more. A little bit lighter, down ½ inch down toward the Corpus Christi area. So this is going to be occurring on a big night for you. It's Friday night, right? Everybody's going to football. Well, let me show you what's happening. We start with Future Tracker Wednesday. Then Thursday, you can see the low beginning to move in our direction. You can see the shower bands developing over the region. And then when does it get here? Well, it gets here Friday night into Saturday. So it begins to get heavy on Friday, and then Saturday it stays significant. And this is significant rain. I mean, this is like everybody's going to get wet. And then, of course, let's see what Lee is doing. The hurricane that's been out there for, 2 weeks? Well, finally, Lee looks like it's getting going and moving northbound, and it will be coming ashore pretty much in that area we've been talking about all week, somewhere between Bangor, Maine and Nova Scotia as well. What about us? Well, let's take a look at your forecast because it does have some rain included in it. Partly cloudy and isolated thunder shower tomorrow, 91 in Port Lavaca. And then pretty much same pattern with isolated showers and a high of 93 or 4. But I'm going to get an alert day for Friday and Saturday. What does that mean? Everybody's going to be affected by the weather coming in. We may even have a little north wind on Saturday morning. And of course, there are a lot of events. So you got to just check in with us to let you know what we expect and how much rain we should get. Again, we should be looking for a significant 1, maybe 1.5 inches of rain here in many areas of the Crossroads. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Karina.
Thanks, Mac. And now here's Sports Director Gina Perez.
Thanks, Karina. The NBA and NFL are in the midst of making some pretty big changes when it comes to players. That's coming up after the break. At Crossroads, the game of the week is between two teams that are 2-1 heading into week 4, the Calhoun Sand Crabs and the Yoakum Bulldogs. Calhoun Sand Crabs are coming into Friday's game as the underdogs. Calhoun beat Seton 26-17 and shut out CC West Oso 42-0. Calhoun head coach Richard Whitaker said the Yoakum team is filled with tremendous athletes and they are going to be hard to stop. He went on to say if he and the team want to win, the offensive line is going to have to play a big part of the game if they are going to want to win and continue to make first downs, because if they're doing that, then the Yoakum offense can't get on the field and do what they do best. The number 10 Yoakum Bulldogs, on the other hand, are still ranked number 10 even after a loss to Cuero last week. The Bulldogs had 3 turnovers in the game and felt they let one slip away. Yoakum head coach Bo Robinson said the record before district does not matter to him as long as they get better each week. The things he said the team need to get better on are at running the ball and tackling. He was pleasantly surprised that the team has 4 times as many turnovers as they did all last season. The two Crossroads teams are both 2-1 and will battle on the gridiron Friday night for the game of the week, week 4. Calhoun will look for the upset. Yoakum is looking to move up in the rankings. The National Football League Players Association is calling for a big change, saying it's the easiest decision the NFL can make. The Players Association issued a statement early Wednesday morning, and the executive director, Lloyd Howell, said the players are overwhelmingly prefer the change to natural grass fields, and the data is clear that it is safer than artificial turf. The call to action comes 2 days after the news that Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers tore his left Achilles tendon in his season debut with the Jets Monday night. The cost to change for grass fields is an investment, but Howell said if the NFL keeps losing big names to injury, it could lead to a bigger cost. NFL stadiums like AT&T Stadium are known for switching to grass surfaces in special cases like the World Cup or when other soccer games come to town. The National Basketball Association came out with a policy to ensure that more of its star players appear in more games. The league's Board of Governors approved a new player participation policy that will take effect this season. It will focus on the stars, meaning athletes who have been on the All-NBA team or have been an All-Star in the previous 3 seasons, which includes 50 NBA players this year. Teams will have to manage their rosters to ensure multiple athletes are not sitting out the same game. If they do, teams will face a $100,000 fine the first time, a $200,000 fine the second, and $1 million each time after that. The teams are allowed to request exceptions for back-to-back games with older players, including LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Stephen Curry. Well, that's your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Gina. We're back in a moment. Buc-ee's started in South Texas, but it's now heading to southern Mississippi. This weekend, Affectionate Arms Adult Daycare wants you to help them reach their $10,000 goal at their walk-a-thon fundraiser. Here's how it works. Participants will register to walk a predetermined distance, and they will secure donations from family and friends. The goal is to improve both mental and physical health of elderly and disabled adults. It all kicks off this Saturday, September 16th at Ted B. Reed Park from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. So here is your viewer poll. Scan the QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, will you participate in the Affectionate Arms Walk-a-thon fundraiser this Saturday? Yes or no? Well, according to these results, 7% are saying yes and 93% are saying no, which is a shame because it's going to be so sunny. Not sunny, but it's going to be good weather.
Well, it's going to be raining, and
But
that's good weather.
That's good weather right now.
That's good weather, exactly.
Yeah, after these
it's all a perspective, yeah. We've got some beneficial rain rolling into the area. Begins today. Tomorrow it gets a little heavier, and then Friday, Saturday is when I expect some significant rain around the area. I don't want to discourage you from going down there, but you know, get your rain gear. Go into the closet, see if you can find it. Go to Walmart and get an umbrella or something like that, because it'll be a fun thing, and you'll be out in the rain enjoying something that we've been waiting for quite some time. I'm calling them 2 alert days, Friday, Saturday, because of a significant amount of rain expected.
All right, thank you, Mac. And finally, the first Buc-ee's in the state of Mississippi will be located on the Gulf Coast in Harrison County. The groundbreaking was held Tuesday for the iconic super-sized convenience store. In about 16 months, the store will be up and running with nearly 200 employees. Buc-ee's will start hiring about 3 months before opening day. One local lawmaker says the store will lead to an unprecedented economic boom for Harrison County from other businesses that follow Buc-ee's. I want to make sure everybody knows that to get on the next viewer poll, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com/ which one? /something to take part. Okay.
Crossroadstoday.com/vote.
Vote. Okay.
Right.
Very good. Yes. And Mississippi, the 2 people in our newsroom from Mississippi are voting for Buc-ee's.
Yeah?
They really want to go there to Mississippi. So we'll see what happens.
It's a Texas thing, but I guess Mississippi can enjoy a piece of the cake too.
There you go. Beaver nuggets for everyone.
That's
All right.
right.
Thank you for joining us.
We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.